Hello, everybody, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory with Will and Tad here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow to our channel for exclusive long snap reports, preseason reports, breaking news takes, and all things, all 32 teams in the NFL. And yeah, we're just all things football. So stay tuned as we continue our preseason coverage with this episode covering the Seattle Seahawks and what we think they're going to do in 2025. Yeah, we'll start with the quarterback, Sam Darnold, Tad. Sam Darnold, I see that Viking shirt that you are wearing. Yeah, so this man comes on from the Seattle Seahawks and will be expected to take on the starting role. With a very interesting quarterback room, you bring back Drew Lock to be your QB2. You drafted Jalen Milroe as well. Maybe you draft Jalen Milroe, wondering if he can maybe one day be the future quarterback. But for the moment being, they are going to go ahead and go with quarterback Sam Darnold. So, um, the biggest thing for Sam Darnold is um, can he go out here? Can he use his weapons that he has around him right off the bat? He's going to definitely need to more so be kind of like a glue player. Definitely going to need more. I mean, going to need that. Going to need to be that guy in the huddle that keeps these guys together. Starting with easily the best player on this entire offense, Jackson Smith, the Jigba out of Ohio State. Personally, Tad, I'd rank Jackson Smith-Njigba a top 10 wide receiver in the league. Where would you rank him?
Yeah, top 10, that is a very bold statement. I do appreciate the boldness here by my co-host. You'll only get these takes here on the Gridiron Glory. As for me, I think Jackson Smith and Jigba, I definitely say top 20, maybe top 15, even top 10. I don't know if I'm willing to quite go that far yet, but I definitely think he's a young, up and coming, very talented receiver and a receiver room that looks very different than it did this time last year. Of course, they've traded away DK Metcalf to Pittsburgh. You bring in Cooper Kupp, the veteran receiver, and you draft Torrey Horton from Colorado State. So definitely a different look. Adding a veteran like Cooper Kupp, I think that could be very beneficial to quarterback Sam Darnold, and then see what you have out of Torrey Horton, the player there that you draft out of Colorado State here in the fifth round. I think he has a lot of potential. We saw him make some very high quality plays with the Rams, the Colorado State Rams, of course. So I'm very interested to see what this receiver room evolves into.
I even believe that Jackson Smith the Jigba can evolve into a receiver that can one day be on the likes and the tiers of, say, your boy Jay Jets or Jamar.
Yeah, that would definitely be a big step up for him. I would definitely need to see that to believe it.
Well, I am a huge fan of Jackson Smith, the Jigba, here on the Gridiron Glory, and I just believe in his craft and what he can do and what he brings to the game, how he elevates his teammates around him. A tremendous talent, Mr. Jackson Smith, the Jigba. What about Cooper Kupp? I think bringing in Cooper Kupp is an amazing addition to this offense as well. Sam Darnold has got some shiny toys around him for sure, if you will.
Yes,
And
definitely a
Marquez
high.
Valdez Scantling.
Yeah, of course, Marcus Valdez Scantling, the veteran there, he's been with several different teams and he'll provide some depth.
Yeah, so this is fun. This is going to be fun for Sam Darnold, and the offensive line. Big question there. Gray Zabel, a lower tier offensive line for sure in the league, but you do draft Gray Zabel, the rookie left guard out of North Dakota State, and yeah, can Charles Cross, their left tackle, former first rounder out of Mississippi State, can he do what he needs to do to elevate this team and this unit, I should say. Do
Yeah.
what they need to do to protect Sam Darnold. That's going to be ultimate and key. Abraham Lucas out of Washington State. He's going into his little B now. fourth season, it looks like, and then another North Dakota State alum, Jalen Sundle, the center. So kind of a young offensive line, to say the least. This offensive line is very young, and you're going to have a rookie uh, left guard in there as well. So a very young
Mm.
offensive line, Tad, that still needs some developing.
Yeah, I'll say I'm very worried about the offensive line. We've seen what Sam Darnold looks like when he's under immense pressure. We saw how it looked against Detroit at the end of the year last year. We saw how it looked in the playoffs against the LA Rams. They both got great pressure on Sam Darnold, and things did not go quite as well as they had throughout the season. So, can Sam Darnold improve under pressure, and can the line work to keep him safe? I think that's a big question. I do
Big
want
big
to,
job for, like, I can't stress the job Charles Cross is going to have protecting Sam Darnold's blind side.
yeah, definitely a big job there. I do want to touch on the running back room. They do have a very high quality running back room. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, in my opinion, one of the top like 1-2 duos in the league. I'd probably looking specifically at the backup Zach Charbonnet out of UCLA. I think he is a top three level backup running back in the league. I'm willing to go that far, and I think he is going to continue to improve. And of course, Kenneth Walker, we've seen what he can do. He's a brute force power level running back that also has some breakaway speed.
I like Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet and even George Holani. I think this running back room is very exciting, very fun. Playmakers in each of their own way, very talented. Um, but yeah, Kenneth Walker, he's transcending into a very interesting running back, and he's very fun to watch.
Yes, definitely a fun running back to watch. Looking a little at the tight end room, very young AJ Barner, the projected starter, and then you have the draft pick Elijah Arroyo from Miami as the projected backup. They did release Noah Fant, so he is no longer on the team. A bit of a veteran there. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can get one of the younger players to step up in the tight end room and sort of lead that group.
Yeah, it starts with AJ Barner, Elijah Arroyo, even Eric Salbert. So this tight end room, the sky is the limit for these guys for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have any other takes on the offense per se.
Yeah, so looking at the defense a bit, a very interesting defense, the defensive line. I know they're led by some seasoned veterans, guys like Leonard Williams and Demarcus Lawrence is a bit of a rusher. He's in kind of a blend between linebacker and D line. So I'd say they have a very interesting D line, but outside of those two players, I mean, you need some of your younger players to step up, like Byron Murphy from Texas. So I would say I do have significant concerns about the defensive line.
Yeah, yeah, massive concerns there. But I do really like Leonard Williams. I really like Leonard Williams a lot.
Me too.
But yeah, uh, just outside of that, it's just a lot of question marks. I mean, even Jerron Reed, kind of getting up there in age a little bit as far as defensive linemen. Same with Demarcus Lawrence, and I mean, same with even Nwosu. I mean, those guys are kind of starting to get up there. So, I mean, even Leonard Williams, who, I mean, former first rounder, that just speaks volumes to how rare it is for a lineman to have a long shelf life in the league. I mean, it does happen sometimes. Sometimes a lineman can have a long shelf life, but we rarely see it. So, insane to kind of see the high level that Leonard Williams is still playing at. There. So can he lead this? I don't want to say shaky unit, but in a sense, maybe can he be
Yeah.
that guy?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a fair question. I think shaky is a fair way to describe the unit. I'm very interested to see how they grow. The linebacker unit, I'm a little interested in that group as well. Boye Mafa is a fairly solid player in the linebacker room, and I'm interested if he can continue to grow now going into his fourth season out of Minnesota. Then of course, you got Tyrese Knight, and we'll see how he does. Obviously, one of the better players ever out of UTEP, so we will see if he can grow after a rookie season. You got Ernest Jones. He's a bit more experienced. So just we need to see some growth out of this front seven as a whole. I'm very interested if they can grow, if they can provide the pressure that they need to compete.
Yeah, you also went out and drafted Nick Amanawari, the safety out of South Carolina. You also went out and drafted Riley Mills, defensive tackle out of Notre Dame. Um, yeah, so you went out and drafted a couple of defensive pieces there as well. But yeah, Nick Amanawari, the safety out of South Carolina, can they get him involved in the mix too as well? Is another big question on that secondary. And I don't think people talk about Kobe Bryant enough. Kobe Bryant to me is one of the more underrated safeties in the league, in my opinion. Definitely a tremendous playmaker, can get the interceptions, can make the plays, an exciting player to watch. One of the more exciting safeties, in my opinion, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, definitely an interesting safety there. I'm big on Julian Love. I think
Julian
he's
Love too. He's
going
good.
yeah, I think he's gonna have a quality year. Sort of in a way lead the secondary to an extent. Devin Witherspoon, the nickelback, I think he's fairly solid. I think he could be ready to do what needs to be done. He's definitely played at a higher level. The third year player here out of Illinois. So we'll see if he can continue to grow, continue to lead. Look, this is a defense. They have some young players and they can grow. I don't quite think they're ready yet to do to play at an exceedingly high level, but they do have a lot of potential. They do have some quality young talent.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that too. I'm excited to see the talent that can be elevated from everything that we just mentioned. So, going to be very interesting to see there. Um, yeah, the going over real quick the offensive draft picks for the Seahawks too. Elijah Arroyo, the tight end out of Miami. We did mention Jalen Milrow. We also Torrey Horton out of Colorado State. Robbie Outs, the tight end out of Alabama. And yeah, Mason Rich. You got Damian Martinez, sorry, the running back out of Miami. Mason Richmond, the offensive tackle out of Iowa. Ricky White the third, the wide receiver out of UNLV. So some very interesting draft picks there. We'll see if the Seahawks even utilize some of these guys to make the roster cut here in the preseason.
Yes.
But did you have any takes on Mason Richmond out of Iowa?
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see if he makes the roster. I know he was a late round draft pick and he's in the middle of a battle, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so the it's going to be a very interesting job too for Clint Kubiak, who is going into his first year with this offense, and we did mention some of the things going around that. He does have experience with tight ends and fullbacks, so that will be very interesting to see how that can pan out as well. And then defensive coordinator Aiden Durd will be coming in here to lead this defense. So just two young coordinators. Um, yeah, but what's your specific take on the head coach, and what he can
Yeah,
do?
we're going to see what we get out of Mike McDonald going into a second season out of Georgia. I'm very interested in if he can continue to lead this team. They were somewhat competitive last year with Geno Smith, and now they go to the Sam Darnold era. So I'm very interested to see if he can keep this team together, and I'm interested to see how it goes.
Yeah, personally, I feel like Seattle could win anywhere from 8 to 12 wins.
Yeah, for me, I'm a kind of a bit lower on Seattle. I'm just very concerned about how they're going to look in the trenches. I think I could see them winning as few as 6 games. I could see them getting up to 9 if things go well, if the offensive line improves enough. But I just, when I see this offensive line and I see how Sam Darnold looks with not so good offensive lines, I get concerned. So that's my take on Seattle's as a team.
Yeah, Seattle they're. I mean, I definitely wouldn't bet on them to for sure win the NFC West.
No,
Though I do feel like they're kind of a bubble, perhaps playoff team if things go right.
I'd agree.
So yeah, I didn't really have any other final thoughts or takes on the Seahawks. They'll be an interesting team to watch. Jackson Smith, Najigba, and Kobe Bryant, two biggest guys to watch out for, in my opinion.
Yeah, so thank you all for watching the Gridiron Glory. Please continue to like, subscribe, and follow for high level content. Thanks for watching.